El Rahum v'Hanun, Erech Apayim, V'Rav Chesed v'Emet, Notzer Chesed l'Alafim, Notzer Avon v'Fesha. V'chata v'nake
Welcome everyone to our Shalvah program this week. And this week we are looking at these verses that are from the Torah reading for this week, Parashat Ki Tisa. And this is the Torah portion that contains the story of the golden calf, the maybe paradigm of sin, where the Israelites, after having received Torah at Mount Sinai, hearing God speak and say that you should only worship me, Moses goes up the mountain. They're unsure about the place that they're in. They don't know what to do. They build a golden calf. They worship it. And God finds out, of course. God knows. God tells Moses on the mountain, hey, your people, they've already turned away. So quickly, they've already turned away from the path that was laid out for them. You know what? Let's do away with this people. We'll find you another people. And Moses convinces God to stick with the people. And he goes down. He deals with the mess that he finds there of people worshiping the golden calf. And then he goes back to God and says, okay, you need to take us back. So how do we return? And this verse comes in the story where it's actually not clear who is saying these words. Is it God describing God's self? Or is it Moses saying these words to God, that God is compassionate and gracious, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness, extending kindness to thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and wiping the slate clean? So is this God teaching this to Moses, or is this Moses saying these words spontaneously to God? There's a midrash that teaches that God actually appears to Moses as a cantor, as a chazan dressed in white, and teaches him how to chant these words. Maybe not exactly the melody we just heard, but in a melody, and says to him, whenever in the future, whenever the people sin, if they go before God and they say these words, God will respond with forgiveness. God will take them back. So this idea that we sin, we even sometimes sin in very serious ways that get at the foundations of the relationship between humanity and the divine. And yet we can take words, and as we say in the Yom Kippur liturgy, we take words and go back to God with words. And these words that call out to us something about God's essence, these words are enough. For God to maybe understand that we understand something about God, that's enough for God to try to be understanding about humanity and let us have another chance, another opportunity to try to go back and do things a different way. So this is something we talk about on the high holidays a lot, but it appears in our weekly Torah reading here this week, and it's something that actually we think about every day. That every day we know that we depart from ourselves. We depart from what we might know deep down is right, or we depart from our resolution to act in different ways. Maybe it's to stay calm or to have patience, to be slow to anger, to abound in love. These very qualities ascribed to God, those are the ones we try to inculcate in ourselves. And then every day we have moments where we depart from those. We leave ourselves and go off and do something we wish we hadn't done. And then what do? Do we give up on ourselves, as at first God is ready to give up on the people? Or do we try to come back, as Moses encourages both the people and God to come back to each other? So this verse suggests that we can come back. We can come back. We can say what we know is true about God and about the potential in ourselves, and we can come back into ourselves, come back to who we hope and try to be, and try again. And that's a cycle that can happen every minute, every hour, every day. We try our best, but we only have the now, the moment that we're in, to try to concentrate ourselves, to try to hold fast to who we want to be, who we want to become, and to know that at each moment that we leave ourselves, leave that vision of ourselves that we're striving for, we also have the opportunity to return, and that possibility is as close to us as our own thoughts or as our own souls, as close to us as the mystics say that God is to us. Right there next to us is that possibility that we can always return to ourselves and become once more centered in the vision of who we were really meant to be.
So, using that idea of returning, we're going to focus on the breath today, or if you'd like to use your body as your focal point, that's fine too. But I'd encourage you to try the breath. And Jack Kornfield, a wonderful Jewish Buddhist meditation, mindfulness meditation teacher, likes to use the metaphor of training a puppy to housebreak the puppy. You're not aggressive with the puppy. You gently bring the puppy back to where you want the puppy to go. And so treating yourself with the same gentle, compassionate and applied focus that you would do with such a sweet new creature. We'll use that to help bring our mindful awareness to our breath when our attention wanders in this brief meditation, which it certainly will. So finding a comfortable seated position, you can close your eyes or let your gaze rest on the floor in front of you, taking a few deep breaths to arrive here. Feeling your body sitting, know that you're sitting. Use those points of contact between yourself and your seat, your feet on the floor, your hands resting in your lap. Use all of that to bring your attention here to this moment. And then sitting here, feeling your body sitting, begin to bring your attention to where you feel your breath most prominently in your body right now. Do you feel the cool air coming into your nostrils and in the back of your throat? Do you feel it in your chest or in your belly? Just noticing, you don't have to change it. Noticing what kind of breath you're breathing today. Is it deep, shallow, What's the pace? Again, no need to change it, just noticing what it's doing today. So, feeling where you feel it most prominently and beginning to build an awareness of the quality of your breath. Now, bringing your attention to the whole breath cycle, the inhalation, where it changes to an exhalation, where it begins again. Remembering that metaphor of the puppy, just gently bringing it back, bringing your attention back when it wanders. Focusing on your inhalation, your exhalation. When you lose your focus, become distracted, just noting the thought and releasing it, coming back to your breath. Really becoming curious about the quality of your breath right now. Gently bringing yourself back if your attention has strayed, coming back to the breath. Paying attention to whether the quality of your breath has changed since the beginning of this meditation. Gently coming back every time you get carried away in a train of thoughts, noting it, letting it go, back to the breath. Gently returning to the breath. Noting the beginning of your inhalation, where it changes to the beginning of your exhalation. Observing what your body is doing when it breathes. Do you feel your ribs expanding? Does your belly feel soft? You feel your nostrils flaring a little bit on that inhale, becoming curious and focused. And before we close, just taking a moment to really get in touch with the gratitude that your body is doing this without any conscious effort on your part, this life-sustaining function. What a gift to be in this body. Thanking God for this body. Noticing one more full breath cycle, focusing on the inhalation, the exhalation of one more cycle. Taking a moment to notice how you feel. Do you feel more relaxed than when we started, or not? Just noticing how you feel. Taking a moment to stretch, twist. El Rahum Bechanun Erech Apayim Verav Chesed Ve'emet Notzer Chesed La'alafim Notzer Avon V'Pesha V'chata V'nakeh El Rachum V'chanun Erech Apayim V'rav Chesed V'emet Notzer Chesed La'alafim Notzer Avon V'Pesha V'chata V'nakeh El Rachum V'chanun Erech אפיים, ורב חסד ואמת, נוצה חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע. וחטא ונקה אל רחום וחנון, ערך אפיים, ורב חסד ואמת, נוצה חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע. וחטא ונקה אל רחום וחנון, ערך אפיים, ורב חסד ואמת, נוצה חסד לאלפים, נושא עוון ופשע. וחטא ונקה וחטא ונקה.
So I hope as you go through each day, each hour, you always remember the possibility of coming back to ourselves, coming back with our breath gently like leading a puppy, but gently the opportunity for each of us to come back to ourselves at any time and to truly go on with the work of being who we know we can be.